Good morning, respected madam and my dear friends. I was given the topic on Emma by Jane Austen from chapter 10 to 12. The person you are looking in the screen is Jane Austen, whose period is from 1775 to 1817. About the author. Jane Austen was the daughter of a well-off cultivated Hampshire clergyman, Reverend George Austen. She was born on 16th December 1775. She was an English novelist. She was the sixth in a family of 5 sons and 2 daughters. Her main education was from her father. Her life is notable for its lack of events, although she had several suitors, but she did not marry. 6 major novels of Austen. Sense and Sensibility in 1811, Pride and Prejudice in 1813, Mansfield and Park in 1814, Emma in 1815, Persuasion in 1817, and Northanger Abbey in 1817. Her 2 unfinished works are The Watson and Sanditon. Though her life was uneventful, placid, and circumscribed, she was highly sensitive to what went on her. Her observations on the manners of her time and of her class are reflected in her novels. On July 18, 1817, at Winchester, Hampshire, the author died as quietly and serenely as she had lived. About the novel Emma. Emma was published in the year 1815. The genre was comedy of manners. The setting of time is early 19th century. The setting of place is Highbury, England. Plot summary of chapter 10. In mid-December, Emma and Harriet make a charitable visit to a poor and sick family near Mr. Elton's vicarage. Harriet wonders that Emma remains single despite her charms, and Emma explains that she has no need to marry, and unless she should fall in love, it would be a mistake to marry. When Harriet frets that Emma will become an old maid like Miss Bates, Emma scornfully insists that the only thing she and Miss Bates could ever share in common is their singleness. Miss Bates is silly, ignorant, gossipy, and poor. Emma insists that there is no disadvantage in being an old maid except if you are poor, which renders celibacy contemptible to society. The 2 women proceed to assist the impoverished family with great dedication, and they lived filled with compassion for the poor. When Mr. Elton runs into them as they return home, Emma attempts to give him time alone with Harriet by various means, stopping to tie her shoe, taking a different path, pausing at a vicarage for a shoelace, but to no avail. Emma is disappointed that Mr. Elton does not declare his love for Harriet, but she assumes he will propose soon enough. Plot summary of chapter 11. Emma's attention is taken up by Mr. John Knightley and Isabella's visit to Hatfield. Isabella is an affectionate and obedient wife who takes after her father's nervous disposition. Mr. John Knightley is respectable and gentlemanly, but reserved and often impatient with Mr. Woodhouse and his daughter's sensitivity. Isabella commiserates with Mr. Woodhouse's grief over Mrs. Weston's departure. Emma and Mr. John Knightley gently moderate the dramatization of the situation with reminders that Mrs. Weston visits frequently and is happily married. Mr. John Knightley asks after Frank Churchill, and Emma replies that expectation of his visit has entered in nothing. Frank's letter is praised again, and Mr. John Knightley and Isabella speculate about the relationship between Mr. Weston and his son. Plot summary of chapter 12. Mr. Knightley finds Emma playing with her niece one evening during Isabella's visit, and she attempts to restore their friendship. He insists that his 16 years of seniority and the advantage of not being a spoiled, pretty young woman have given him superior understanding. The two reconcile without either conceding the other's right. She finds all the attention and admiration generally given to Jane irksome. Mr. Woodhouse recommends that Isabella and Mr. John Knightley pitch their vacation spot according to Mr. Perry's advice, and Mr. John Knightley loses his temper at the old man's nervous interference. He deftly changes the subject to less passionate matters, and Isabella and Emma gradually soothe away their father's distress. Analysis of chapter 10, 11 and 12. In chapter 10, it implies the reality of gender inequality in Austen's era, in which women must marry to gain financial security. Emma's strong will and independence are unusual for a woman in her era, and in this sense, she is a remarkable heroine for gender equality. Yet her self-assurance stems from her financial security, which reveals the social inequality. Emma's ability to avoid marriage is dependent on her wealth. In chapter 11, Mr. John Knightley is spoiled by Isabella's adoration, resulting in an inequality in their temperament within their marital dynamic. Emma finds Mr. John Knightley lacking in respect of her father, Isabella, and their children. Rumor plays a great role in reputation. In chapter 12, the novel walks a tension between supporting Emma and her unusual independence as a female protagonist and critiquing her privilege prejudice through Mr. Knightley. Foolish characters like Mr. Woodhouse and Isabella, who have no real evil in them, compose much of the comedy in Austen. Mr. John Knightley loses patience at his attempt to impose his preferences on others. Emma, though more sophisticated and sensible than her father, also exhibits this tendency to mold the world to her liking. Themes: courtship and marriage, social class, oppression of women, moral relativism, love and marriage, attachment, and social conduct. Thank you.